It was such a nice day to work in the garden. It's kind of cathartic. You know what they say, better to be a warrior in a field in a garden than a gardener in a war. Well, there's a reason why most warriors decide to get gardens. Keeps you busy, keeps you focused, gives you a sense of accomplishment, and you don't take life anymore. You just grow it. I figured it'd be a nice, quiet day. That is, until I heard the truck pull in. I figured somebody might be turning around. That happens a lot. But then saw the nephew. Waved to him, he waved back, and I ducked my head down and got back to working. I thought I heard something in the distance, though. Something is coming. Everything was on alert. What the hell? Then I heard a growl. Immediately reached for my pistol, turned up, and there was my nephew holding a dog on a leash. The dog was seemingly happy, but also growling at the same time. What the hell? What is that? I asked him. Oh, I'm watching my friend's dog. Yeah, next time warn me, as I put my pistol away. You really gonna shoot the dog? After I've had to deal with, you bet your ass I'm gonna shoot the damn dog. Yeesh. What do you mean? It's just a dog. Dude, do you forget what I used to do? Oh, would you have to deal with wild dogs? No, worse. What's worse than dogs? What's a humanoid dog, dumbass? That would be werewolf, huh? Yeah, no kidding. Hold on, let me go get the file for you. Well, hold on, we'll come with you. You're not taking that dog in my house. Why not? It's the dog's potty trained. It's not going to take a dump in your house. I don't care. There's a reason I don't have a dog. Dogs stink. They shed all over the place. I don't want to spend the next week cleaning up after it. You got a dog? That's fine. You deal with it. But I'm not dealing with this damn mangy mongrel mother. Ugh. Just stay out here. Hold on. I went inside, got the file, came back out, and he's out there throwing the ball for the dog. Whatever. Whenever the dog came up, I either kicked the ball, picked it up, and threw it while I talked. Here, check this out, as I handed him the file. He opened it up, and he's like, oh, it's a pretty big file. Yeah, there's a lot of them around. Really? Yeah, a whole bunch. But they usually keep to themselves. They don't like to be messed with. I mean, think of them like wolves. You know, wolves are very, very cautious of people. They don't come up and lick your face. If they're in your face, they're trying to bite it off. Oh, is this what they look like? Yeah, some of them. Others are bulkier, others are leaner. You know, it's different packs, different ways. It's all sorts of different stuff. As he flips through, I let him know, yeah, every once in a while you just have to go check on them. They usually don't argue with anybody, they keep to their own territories. Just whatever you do, if you see one, you might reach for your weapon, but unless you're about to shoot them, don't draw it. Whatever you do, don't ever do that. Besides, they can smell weapon oil. They already know you got a pistol on you. Really? They can smell that good? No, they smell terrible, but they can smell your pistol really good. Especially if you just fired it. They hate the smell of burnt carbon. It's crazy. He looks at me weird as that dog comes up and drops the ball in front of me again. I pick it up as he asks, so why do they hate the smell of carbon? Easy. It makes them sneeze as I throw the ball for the dog. Huh. That's weird. Well, how do you check on them? Oh, well, this one here, reaching over, flipping over a page. These ones here, it's actually pretty interesting. You got to talk to the local shaman. Shamans are real? Of course, shamans are real. Seriously, have you learned nothing? Well, listen. The shamans know what they're talking about. They are the information brokers of their own tribes. And one in particular, I had to go and he had to cover me with wood ash. He told me to leave my weapons behind. I was like, I'll leave the pistols, but you think I'm going out in the woods without a blade? You're high. He laughed because, well, by the time you even stab one, they probably eviscerated you. That's if they want to. They usually don't. He drew some sort of circle on the ground, covered me with ash, did his ceremonial whatever the fucks, and we waited. And then I could tell something was around me. I could see them moving out there. I'm sure they thought they were stealthy, but trust me, you can always tell when they're around. Your senses go absolutely nuts. Really? Well, you ever been in the wood and just a squirrel's moving around and all of a sudden everything is on level 11? All your senses are going crazy. Well, what the hell was that? Well, it's cranked up a lot higher. They love the smell of fear. That's actually how they track you, is they can smell that spiking. If you can keep yourself level, you should be fine. And I'm pretty sure that's what that ash was for, was to soak it up, because ash is basically a type of charcoal, and that soaks up all sorts of stuff out of your system if you eat it. Really? You're an EMT. You don't know about freaking charcoal pills? Okay, you don't have to chew my head off for it. Well, when we were talking out there and we heard those dogs moving around, or as I call the puppies, at that point, the dog in front of me just looked at me wagging its tail as I kicked the ball for it to chase again. As we're out there in the circle, I just looked out and he just starts throwing hot dogs. Hot dogs, really? Yeah, oh yeah. Just like 2 packs of hot dogs out there just inside the firelight where we can see. And sure as shit, they came out real slow, sniffed around. I'm sitting there just trying not to shit myself. And they came up and ate the hot dogs, kind of looked to see if there was any more, turned and walked away. Huh. Really that simple? Oh, yeah. They don't like people. They really don't. You ever seen a wolf inside an enclosure you can actually get close to? No? Well, any real wolf isn't going to come close. Just like coyotes, they book it as soon as they see a person. They don't like being around people. But this dog here likes to be around people. Yeah, because it's a dog that's been around people its whole life. Duh. You got to remember that these are beasts with human minds. They tell their young ones to watch out for us because silver works. It works really well. Actually, inside my belt while we were out there, I had a steel blade on me just in case. I asked the shaman about it. He goes, "Yeah, that'll poison them for sure. They'll kill you before you're able to kill them, but yeah, the poison will do its work." My nephew looked over, started flipping more pages. Jeez, these things are really dangerous. I just looked at him and said, "Yeah, but only when you piss them off. So do yourself a favor. Don't piss them off." "How do I piss them off?" he asked. "That's easy. Try to pet them." "What?" That's an insult to them. It's just like hellhounds. You don't do that. They'll gladly bite your hand off. Unfortunately, I came across one camper that's exactly what happened. Oh, man. At that point, he actually turned the page and saw the picture. Not only was the hand gone, but so was one of the legs, and the guy's scrot was just gone. It's like when they went to bite the leg off, they grabbed his third leg, and off it all went. Just blood everywhere. The guy probably died of blood loss, and it was quite gross. My nephew looked at us. "Oh, I've seen suicides that weren't this messy. Oh, yeah, I know. The smell is worse, though." "Why is it worse?" "Well, for degradation's sake, they'll actually come and urinate on them, but they'll make sure they eat something that doesn't sit well in their system first." "Oh, that's messed up." "Yeah, I mean, being dead is one thing, but do you really want a giant wolf teabagging you while you're dying? That's just bad." "Oh, they can't all be like that." "Oh no, they're not. Here, hold on, hold on. Yeah, right here. This one here. These are the ones you actually want to come across." "Who's this pretty girl?" he asked me. "Oh, that's the leader." "What? Really? She's human." "No, she's not. She is definitely not human. She's the one in charge." "Why is she the one in charge?" he asked me. "Well, that's the way these packs go. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Misandric, or whatever. They're led by women. I'm sure there's the word for it. I can't think of it right now. Whatever. They're almost always led by females." "Why is that?" "Well, it's the old adage, man. Power of the pussy. If they don't cater to the females at least a little bit, she's never going to give it up. And they're not like dolphins where all the males can come up and force themselves on a female. No, she'll bite your junk off. It's bad. But yeah, if she wants you, she's gonna have you. Really? That sounds fun. No, dude, it's not. What? What? How could that not be fun? Ugh. Hold on. Let me go get the other file. I went in, grabbed the file, took a deep breath. Ugh. It was a very thin file handed over to him. It's like, this is what happens when she mates. So, I hope you haven't had anything to eat this morning. Oh, it can't be that. Holy shit! He looked over as several men were disemboweled on the floor. Most of their parts were completely torn open. Many large bite marks were seen. Most of the body had been chewed on. What the hell with this? What, do they eat men afterwards? No. This is just how they do that with humans. What, huh? Not all of them. This is just one. She's, well, for lack of a better term, she's a bit of a bitch. You met her? Oh yeah. Hold on. Here's a picture of her right here. Wow. She's yeah, she's naked. Her eyes are up there, dude. Yeah. I know she's hot. I met her and she thought I was interesting, and then I told her that if she gets any closer, I'm going to put silver nitrate through her bloodstream. I seen what happened. I was actually there to pick up. Let me see this one here. Dude, let me guess. She didn't like him. No, he actually tried to force himself on her. So she Jerry Lee'd him and left him to bleed out on in the middle of God's nowhere. There was a huge, huge trail. It was not hard to find at all. They actually called us. They who? The wolves. When they changed back to human, they gave us a buzz and said, come pick up this guy. Really? Yeah. You don't think they can talk when they're like this? At that point, he was absolutely stunned, looking at the pictures and trying to stifle his vomit as I threw the ball several more times for the dog that just seemed to be happy that we were playing with it. Eventually, he closed the file, handed it back to me. He's like, oh, that's gross. Why do you even let these things live? Well, it's kind of important. They're important for the monster biosphere. What do you mean important for a monster? What the hell's a monster biosphere? What do you think I've been showing you the past few weeks? Really? Did they thin them out? Not really, I told him. They more or less keep them in check. If they didn't, certain what we know nowadays as cryptids would be, well, they wouldn't be a nuisance. They'd be a catastrophe. Really? Like, which ones? Well, the mosquitoes, for one, they don't like each other. They really, really, really don't like each other much at all. Why? It's some sort of blood feud that goes back. I don't really know, and I don't really care. All I know is that we actually have a werewolf that lives close by, actually. And she just wants to be left alone. Really? Anyone I know? He asked me. Actually, yes. Someone you do know. And no, it's not anyone you're related to, so don't look at me like that. He gives me a weird smirk at that point as he throws the ball for the dog one more time. At that moment, it seemed as though a light bulb went off inside his head. So that's why you have silver bullets, right? Well, for them, and there's others. Yeah, others? You know what? We'll talk about that later. I don't need you getting confused. One of these at a time. Okay. Yeesh. Wow. That's a lot to unpack. I mean, I I went camping. Should I have been worried about them? No, no, no. If anything, they'll steal your food. They know better than to attack people because then there's a big search. Then they gotta hide, and they might run low on food because they can't hunt. It's this whole freaking rigmarole spinning around. Don't worry about it. Besides, even if you do, well, even though bullets, unless they get plugged right in the head and the heart, ain't gonna kill them, as in standard bullets, well, they still hurt like a son of a bitch. I mean, come on. Here, check this one out. Here, hold on. Yep, this one here. See this guy here? Yeah, I took the slugs out of him myself. He had about a half a dozen 9mm rounds stuck in his torso. He wasn't dying from it, but boy, did that make him hurt. His buddies had to hold him down while I freaking used the tools to pull it out. What, you carry surgery tools now? No, needle nose pliers. In an open wound? Are you crazy? Well, yeah, but that's beside the point. It worked. Besides, their regenerative abilities are just crazy. Some of these guys are several hundred years old, and they haven't changed back to human in so long, I'm starting to wonder if they know how. I paused there because my nephew's got his nose buried in the file, so this time I throw the ball for the dog. This furry mutt just seems to want to just chase the ball all day while we sit outside and talk. Eventually, my nephew simply closes the file as though he's trying to digest everything I just told him. And plus, there's evidence in front of him, so he knows I'm not pulling his leg. As I take the files away, put them back, and come back out, look, hey, I gotta get back to work. I gotta get this garden finished. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I gotta get everything done today. So, unless you're gonna sit here and help me with that, he kind of turns as like, has that look of, nah, I really don't want to. Then he says, no, I've got other things to do. I just swung by to say hi, and, well, now I did more than that, so yeah, I'm going to go. I say, hey, don't forget the dog. Oh, right, he says. With that, they begin to take off. I head back towards the garden. As he goes to pull out of the driveway, I see one of my neighbors running by. That pretty girl, and I swear she has got to stop wearing those tight shorty shorts that she wears. She is really going to make guys stare way too long. And then I kind of chuckle as I see the truck leave the driveway and slow down just a bit as he gets ready to pass her. I laugh because even though slowing down for a runner around here is just a common practice just to show, hey, I see you and I'm trying deliberately not to hit you, so please stay on the side of the road. But he was also staring at her butt. Then again, as she waved at him and waved at me on the way by, all I could think of is if he only knew. As I start moving around inside the garden, a glob of dog hair that had been stuck to my leg drifts off into the breeze. All I could do was think to myself, this is why I didn't want a dog in the house. Well, that and the fact that now I have this line of slobber across my pant leg, too. I didn't even realize the dog had wiped his jowls on me. Ugh. I don't mind other people having dogs, but for the love of God, keep them away from my house and from me. I deal with enough canines, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. This is Syntax. Thank you so much for joining me on today's chapter of this ongoing series. Before I go, I gotta send out a couple thank yous to some of my supporters. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and those are going out to Erica Gem, Ava Clark, and SS Demon. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Everyone else, I'll see you on the next one. This is Syntax, ejecting.